many see Twitter and other social media chatter as really kind of an overwhelming and unstructured mess of information. But some innovators see it really as a gold mine for product quality data. Now, here to talk about the role of social media and really more important, how it can be harnessing social media, strangely enough,
That's right.
as part of a closed-loop quality system is Matt Littlefield, President and Principal Analyst for LNS Research. Hi, Matt. Hey, I think we're audio up. You there, Matt?
Excellent. I am here. Can you hear
awesome.
me?
Thanks, man.
We can.
All right, great.
Okay. Before we get started, first of all, let's just define a term here. What do you mean by a closed-loop quality system?
That's a great smile.
That's a great smile, Matt. That's awesome. Okay. Well, while we're getting Mac back on the line, I'll have him confirm this. But I think what he's talking about by a closed-loop quality system is that's where your inputs, and he's going to talk about this, things like social media, and I think he means things like Facebook and Twitter and so on and so forth. And I think he's even talking about things like Internet of Things, which we'll get to. How you harness the data from that, bring it back into your quality system as a means of feeding your improving your quality system based on that data. Hey, Matt, are you there?
I am. Couldn't have said it better myself.
Did I get that about right? It's basically it's using social media and so forth as a kind of a feedback, right?
Yeah, exactly right. You know, there's a lot of companies today. The sales and marketing organizations are pushing out into social media, trying to do reputation management, consensus management, understanding what the social sphere is saying about their products and services. That's what we think of with the customer-centric organization. Where we see a gap is in the quality organization. They're not necessarily thinking about how they can connect that data back into their closed-loop quality system, which is the idea that quality isn't just a manufacturing issue or engineering issue. You have to understand the full life cycle of quality right from the customer back to the product development.
And this is where social media fits in, right? I mean, social media you might think of as this is kind of your direct connection, grassroots connection in a way to how your product or service is perceived. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, traditionally, many quality organizations dealt with customer complaints, right? So they had software and systems and services to deal with those customer complaints. But more and more often, that's not how customers want to interact with the manufacturer or the service provider, right? They're more likely to go to Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and post a picture of what's wrong with that particular product and express their view that way than call a 1-800 number or clip a UPC card and send it back to the manufacturer. So manufacturers have to react to the way that their consumers want to communicate. And that applies to both quality as well as the sales and marketing organization.
You know, Matt, it's a little sophisticated and it's a little subtle too, because customers today using social media are really, they're really attuned to the messages that you're sending. So how does I don't want to use the word control, but how does a manufacturer or a quality organization let's say control that message when maybe there's something that is out there that's not to their liking? How do they subtly change it, spin that a little bit to something that works better for them?
Yeah, I think the sales and marketing folks are out there doing that, right? If you look at the manufacturer organizations, if you want to get a response from a manufacturer or an airline, any type of company that interfaces directly with customers, Twitter is very often your best way to do it. They're monitoring that. So the monitoring piece is happening. And the engagement is an important part. So companies that aren't yet engaging with their customers through social media are missing an opportunity. Where I think the gap, and this is very fluid and evolving, but where the gap is all that data analytics from the social media sphere isn't necessarily getting back into engineering decisions or quality decisions, which is what we're advocating for. And I think it even goes beyond just social media. There's a lot of new and innovative data sources out there that can feed back into the quality system. If you look at smart machines, the Internet of Things, there's so many more connected devices out there today in the world. In the automotive space, you have smart cars, in the aerospace and defense, industrial equipment, home goods with the durable goods like appliances. All of these are connected today, Ethernet enabled with the communications back to the cloud. So capturing that data is an important piece of the quality story as well.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit. I mean, I guess without getting overly technical, but how in the heck do you gather and use social media or Internet of Things, data from the Internet of Things? And so, I mean, this is such a free-form communications medium. I mean, how do you suck this data in and actually make use of it?
Sure. So there's lots of new database technologies out there, and many of the largest technology companies in the world are very focused on these issues. So there's a whole set of technologies out there that are in place to help you capture that data and organize that data. What we think is missing is the idea of how quality can capture some of this data. So if you look at an automotive companies today, they have connected cars. They want to start tying the maintenance that they can predict based on the car's wear and tear, and then schedule maintenance in an interactive way based on how the customer is using the car. So there's a wealth of failure data that's being generated from that, and those customers are all very concerned with, let's say, their warranty costs and their warranty reserve rates. So if we can start mining some of this service data from an analytical perspective to better inform and tweak our warranty costs, that can be a huge savings that is really a mission of many corporate quality organizations to bring down that warranty cost. So the data is there, but it's harvesting it.
So this might come in where you talk about the Internet of Things. So let me see if I'm guessing this right here. Is that, so for instance, if we're talking about automotive, more and more cars are connected. So maybe you could be, mining, I don't know, performance data or, engine analytics and so forth from, let's say, cars, and feeding that back into your quality system kind of at an aggregate level to see how particular models or so forth are performing over time? Am I just out?
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. There's business intelligence companies out there. It's the European technology companies that are out there that are designing the solutions to collect and analyze that data. The gap is then integrating that back in with our quality systems. So the data is there. The companies are collecting the data today. And you talked about skills gap earlier. A lot of companies now have that skills gap to be able to do the data analysis and build the models to capture the value from that data they're collecting. So I think that's the key that what we're trying to help companies understand is you are collecting the data. The quality organizations might not know about that data being collected or how to connect into it. But there's just a wealth of opportunity there.
So is this data, do you see this data being used more on a predictive level to predict where quality might be going, if it's trending up or down, or do you also use it as a means of, I don't know, correcting an existing service issue or correcting an existing product issue?
It can really do both, right? So obviously, when you're talking about Internet of Things and connected cars, that's more reactive. That is information that it's happened, right? That's an adverse event. Something's gone wrong, and now you're sensing that. But the idea is to connect that. So if you have a robust quality system, like a corrective and preventive action system, audit management system, you have good manufacturing systems, you can start to understand for that particular product, what were the conditions of manufacturing, what were the supplier issues that might have contributed to that product issue you're seeing in the field 6 months or a year later. So that's the idea of closed-loop quality management. So if you have these robust quality systems that are connecting end-to-end, supplier, design, manufacturing, and you understand that process overall, it's time to start connecting that to the field data that might be in disparate systems that we're just now starting to think about how to mine that data. So I think it's important to bring these two worlds together, your robust end-to-end quality systems, but then also how can those help us be predictive of what's happening in the field today?
Well, Matt, well said. I think that's a good place to end it for now. But we're going to be revisiting this next Tuesday.
Interesting topic.
Yes, the 19th of November. We're going to be revisiting this. Matt, you and Dirk together are doing a webinar on the 19th at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. And people out there want to check that out. You can go right below the player page and register for that right now. So, Matt, we will see you on Tuesday. Thanks for joining us today, and we'll catch you then.
Thanks, guys. Really excited. Looking forward to it.